It won't be like you're not a part of Facebook. You're not a part of Facebook.
My name's on the masthead.
You might want to check again.
Oh, if you already know the answers to your questions, then why ask?
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
I like the way you die, boy.
I don't want to be a product of my environment.
Now answer my question. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
My boy's awake and smart.
What is up, Film Fixation Podcast? We're back. My name is Jaron Allred, joined here by my co-host Austin Hyatt, and we have a special guest today. Many of you know him from our constant mentionings of him on the pod. He wouldn't know because he doesn't listen, but it's Zach Hauck, everybody. Very excited to have him on. Yeah,
welcome.
Round of applause. Thanks, everyone. And today we're going to be talking about Talk to Me. It was fantastic. We're going to get into it. But first, Austin, why don't you give us the film news?
All right. First thing, we're starting off on a sad note. Mark Margolis, Hector from Breaking Bad, died at 83 this week. Real sad.
Very sad.
Zach has an impression to do for us.
Yeah, Zach. Let's see it.
Bride of Frankenstein remake cast Christian Bale in leading role. Maggie Gyllenhaal to direct. We texted about that a little bit. You said there's never been a good Frankenstein movie.
Well, listen. Okay. You haven't seen any of them, right?
No, I haven't seen Bride of Frankenstein was the...
Yeah.
But when I looked it up on Letterboxd, let me see. I'm going to show you. Okay.
I looked it up too. What? It's like 60s or 50s movie?
30s, 1935.
Okay, I was close.
And it's got a 4.0 average. So
okay.
It's a certified classic, dude. So I think a remake would be good. I'm a little worried about Maggie Gyllenhaal. Has she ever directed anything?
Probably.
She ruined The Dark Knight. So.
Did she?
When she cast.
Yeah.
Who was the first actor or actress
who played Rachel?
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Wasn't it Tom Cruise's ex-wife?
Yeah. It was her.
Something Holmes, maybe?
Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes is her name.
Katie Holmes.
Yeah, she was good in that first one. But the Frankenstein films that I'm talking about, Frankenweenie. Okay. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
The Disney stop motion animation film.
Okay.
Very good. So that's the only exception that I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah. No, it was bad. And the one with Daniel Radcliffe, where he's Frankenstein. I don't know who Frankenstein's monster is. I don't know. I don't think that's a good one.
I can't imagine.
Look that up. But yeah, I just don't know about a modern Frankenstein movie that's been any good.
Here's the thing. There's this renaissance of these classic monster movies, like Robert Eggers, one of my favorite directors. He's going to direct a Nosferatu movie next year.
Okay. I trust Eggers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a new Frankenstein, new vampire stuff.
Okay.
Last Voyage of the Demeter is coming out later this year.
I am. That's next week. Or this week. This week, yeah.
We're going to go see it?
August 11th. You guys not excited for that one?
I'm not. I think it looks kind of bad.
I think it looks kind of silly, but kind of good.
Let's go see
it. You know
anyway.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Dracula looks kind of dope in the trailer. You have to admit.
He does. I can't find this Daniel Radcliffe. Oh, Victor Frankenstein. Yeah, that looks pretty bad.
What's the average?
2.5.
Okay,
so pretty good.
So that's what they've got to beat. This Bride of Frankenstein movie.
Do you think Christian Bale and Maggie Gyllenhaal still have some chemistry from the Batman movies? Do you think it'll work?
I think they probably used it all up in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, about 30 minutes
all
in.
that they had, yeah.
Bale hasn't been making good choices lately in terms of movies.
In terms of film, yeah.
I just think of Thor. He should have steered clear from that, honestly.
He should have, but he did do the best he could with that.
Best, yeah.
Did you ever see The Pale Blue Eye, either of you?
Yeah, I did.
Was it good?
It's okay. It's a detective movie.
Right.
I don't know. Sherlock Holmes. Other detective movies are way better, in my opinion.
Okay. So yeah.
But yeah.
Next thing is NASA is officially launching its own streaming service.
NASA.
NASA.
Okay.
So that doesn't have to do much with us. But
Is it
crazy.
just space movies, or
Must
are they
be
going to buy all the
documentaries.
rights to Apollo 13?
Yeah, I think the MCU is going to be moved over to NASA Plus.
Okay.
I feel like this is proof that the alien thing isn't legit, that they're just trying to like capitalize on this, the
Yeah.
alien fever.
Just drum
And
up
so
content.
people want to be the ones to see it live, like
Yeah.
aliens pulling up.
Could be.
Yeah, it's
Could happen.
They're just trying to get publicity for this stuff. Next thing is Barbie officially crosses $1 billion at the worldwide box office.
That's amazing.
Greta Gerwig, first female director to even get close to $1 billion, I think. Solo director.
Really?
Patty Jenkins. Yeah.
Wow.
Patty Jenkins may have crossed it with Wonder Woman, but I think she co-directed that with a man. So,
Okay.
pretty crazy. Oppenheimer becomes highest grossing World War II film ever made, surpassing Saving Private Ryan and Dunkirk.
About time.
Pretty cool. That one's not news. And then Marvel VFX workers officially vote to unionize at Disney.
Dang.
So, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Maybe we'll get better stuff coming out if they actually unionize and get rights and could work
Yeah.
on stuff.
Spencer, you can use all your Minecraft knowledge to get in that industry, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
With that unionizing, what do you guys think's like on the chopping block in terms of Marvel movies? Because they're definitely not going to be able to put out at the same rate.
I think Secret Invasion just finished, and it was like hated on crazy. I've been watching videos on it all week.
Yeah.
I think TV shows for Marvel are dead.
That's good.
I think they'll still invest in like Star Wars TV shows and whatever else they do.
Yeah.
I think the MCU TV shows are going to die out. Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because the budgets are already so high, and then the product is just so bad. So I can't imagine having a higher budget, paying your VFX artists more, giving them more of a timeline.
Yeah.
And making it work financially for them. So
yeah,
we'll see. Other news: Across the Spider-Verse came out on digital today.
Oh, it did.
Purchase it now.
Fantastic.
I might get it, watch it again.
Yeah, me too.
One of my favorite movies of the year. So, but that's our news.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's get into Talk to Me. It is directed by Michael and Danny Philippou. I think that's how you say it. Let me read the synopsis here. You call, they'll answer. When a group of friends discover how to conjure spirits using an embalmed hand, they become hooked on the new thrill until one of them goes too far and unleashes terrifying supernatural forces. The reviews are looking very good. It's got a 95% Rotten Tomatoes critic score and an 82% audience score. On IGN, it's got a 9 out of 10. Very good. And IMDb, it's got a 7.5. And the Letterboxd average is a 3.7, which I think is a little low.
Yeah, a little low for me.
Yeah, but it is starring Sophie Wilde, Joe Bird, Alexander Jensen, Otis Dahanji, and a couple other people. But yeah, let's get into this. You guys just barely saw this. You're just coming from the theater now.
Yeah.
You saw it for the second time. Zach, you saw it for the first time, just barely.
Yep, first time.
Zach, why don't you give us your initial reaction to this film?
All right, so just straight coming out of the theater, very, very unsettling.
Really?
Like, I was so sweaty the whole time. I was like wiping my hands.
Really?
And yeah, I mean, it was great. Austin described it as like more well written than scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree with that. Like, very well made. I'm glad there wasn't any cheap scares. It was genuinely terrifying, and I'm a little like apprehensive about a sequel that got announced. You had said,
yeah,
because I liked the mystery of like what's going on, but we can get more into that later.
Yeah,
great point. What would your Letterboxd score be?
I'm feeling good on a 4.5.
Okay,
very nice.
That's very good. Austin, how'd you feel? Walk us through your first time, and then tell us how this went the second time through.
So first time, you, me, and Tristan saw it at South Jordan.
Yep.
got an early screening thanks to our podcasting
Yeah,
privileges.
we saw this a day early because
Yep.
we were invited.
Got invited out by AMC. They said we love what you're doing with the pod.
Nicole Kidman
Yeah.
personally.
They're
reached
trying to
out.
bribe us to,
Yeah, it
to
was-
sweet talk them a bit more.
It was just crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we brushed all that aside, kept it out of our minds, went into the movie fresh. And it was like there were several times throughout the first viewing where you and I were looking at each other like jaws open,
Yeah.
mouths open, just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
especially the first few minutes. And again, always spoiler warning here.
hmm
It just grabs you right from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And there are just 5 or 6 sequences in that movie where you are just in disbelief. And it's just so well done. And like Zach said, I just think the filmmaking is paramount in this movie. Like, just all the tricks that they use, all the beautiful shots, they just really add to those horrific scenes that make you feel really dreadful, and it makes it feel more visceral and more real. So
Yeah.
that was my experience both times.
I know. And could you tell? I mean, watching this, there's no way you could tell that it was their debut film.
No.
And I feel like we're this is like the second time we're saying this year after seeing Past Lives. But like no notes,
Yeah.
on any of the scares. I mean, like some horror films, like they put too many scares, and then it feels cheap. I mean, we saw Insidious and it was just horrible, random, weren't even effective with jump scares, but just lazy. And like I said, random, like ghosts that had like nothing to do with the plot. Like you didn't even know why they were there, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But this just seemed so meticulous and thought out, and you just really appreciate the time and attention that was put into this.
Exactly.
Maybe it had a lot to do with having the two filmmakers, Danny and Michael. And I mean, I was listening to an interview that these guys did about the movie, and they were saying how they kind of divided up responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was Danny or Michael, but one of them was more like the voice on set, so the actors could, and, cinematographers could come to this guy. There wouldn't be any like skewed directions, where like Michael said this, Danny said that. And it just seemed like they just had such a perfect system going on
Yeah.
the set of this film. And everybody was like friends, like these actors, the way they hung out and talked to each other. And the directors are such great personalities. They're YouTubers.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that. Austin, I mean, I didn't know. Tristan told me.
On the way to the movie.
On the way to the movie,
Which
yeah.
kind of scared me. Like, when we were headed to the movie, I was like, these are YouTube guys. I don't know. And I'd looked at the reviews at that point. It was a 3.7.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, maybe I've overhyped this in my mind,
Yeah.
But I was wrong. Dead wrong.
No, and I love when that happens.
Yeah.
You lose your expectations kind of, and then it just surpasses everything that you thought was going to happen. And that's the same experience for me. I mean, if when I watch a horror movie, I expect like there to be a ceiling, unless it's like an Eggers or an Astor film,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody could have expected what happened in like Midsummer or Hereditary to happen, or The Witch. And I just got that same exact feeling where I was surprised at like how intense and shocking some of the scares were. I was like grabbing my forehead, like freaking out at the very first, like very intense scene at one of the seances. So incredible. And it made me so like dreadful. Like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe this character who I care about is going through this right now. And like, how could things be any worse, And I don't know. It just makes you feel alive just watching it, feeling these emotions in a horror movie,
I love that you mentioned like Astor and Eggers,
Mm-hmm.
because you look at their directorial debuts. Astor's is Hereditary,
Yeah.
one of the best scary movies I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And Eggers' debut was The Witch, which is another one of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're talking about the Philippous in this kind of company is a
Yeah.
great sign. Makes me really excited for their future. And then you also mentioned Insidious, The Red Door.
Fantastic.
Just the contrast of that, dude, because that was also Patrick Wilson's
Yeah.
debut as a director.
Mm.
And he's been in this world for 10, 15 years of scary movies.
Yeah.
And you're like, what has this guy learned? Oh, obviously nothing. He's a
Mhm.
moron. Like, he can't direct a good movie. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's super difficult. I'm sure he did a great job with what he had. But like, to compare him to these type of people, it's just a totally different tier that we're seeing the Philippous in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if like scary movies, if that's kind of your edge, if it's your first time,
Hmm.
right? They're kind of just going all in, and it's almost more of a passion project. And I think especially with YouTubers, I feel like this probably felt like their first shot, their big shot at like the big screen. And yeah, I mean, same with Conjuring, like what is it, Megan? Like there's all these.
Megan? Did you say Megan?
I think so, right?
The doll movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
They're-
film.
Like they keep going out, coming out with like sequels, and
Yeah.
they just feel like cash grabs at that point.
No,
It
yeah.
doesn't-
I feel like
doesn't
that's
capture
exactly
the-
what Insidious Behind the Red Door was, you know?
Mhm.
But,
And like the first Insidious was like a lot better than
oh, yeah.
the rest of them, right? And so
Leagues better.
I think there's like a really bright future for scary movies
Mhm.
because it's just if it, like you care about it, then you'll probably make something really good.
Yeah. No, I feel great about it. I mean, we have Jordan Peele as
Mhm.
well, you know, Ari, Eggers, and James Wan. I mean, occasionally he'll come out with a good one. I feel like his last couple have been less than satisfactory.
Mm-hmm.
But no, and I agree with what you said. Like, this did feel like a passion project. I mean, I feel like they're more directors than YouTubers now at this point with the success of this film, but they started on YouTube pretty much just to get more exposure when their main goal all along was to become filmmakers. That's what they said in that interview that I listened to. And it's just fantastic that they're getting this opportunity to do this, and then it's worked out so well for them. And they seem so humble, like listening to them. They kept saying like they couldn't believe that they're in this position, you know? I mean, and it is shocking. I mean, they made this film and they just happened to get into Sundance, you know, and then A24 just happened to pick it up. And then it happened to just be this amazing horror phenomenon that I feel like is going to be an instant classic and should be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think we could see almost a reset of sorts. I mean, I think the writer and actor strike really sucks. I think there might be a silver lining in all of this, that A24 is probably the biggest studio that is allowed to continue making films because they agreed to the demands.
Yeah.
Like we could be on the cusp of like a renaissance of really like awesome debuts because they're the only ones out there.
Yeah. Did you see the A24, their first musical is coming out?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I didn't actually watch the whole thing. I just saw stills from it.
Okay, I
Did they
watched
come
the
out with
whole
a trailer or
thing.
anything?
What?
They came out with a trailer?
Yeah, there's a trailer.
You're not a big musical guy though.
Oh, I am, dude.
Yeah.
The right musical.
Sure.
I mean, La La Land is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Greatest Showman's okay.
Sure.
It's kind of, I don't know. I liked it a lot more the first watch.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, what's other ones? Les Mis is
Les
good.
Mis is great.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's where I draw the line.
Mamma Mia 2?
Mamma Mia 2, yeah,
Yeah, 5-star.
with the parallels to The Godfather Part 2. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my dogs. If you guys can hear that, like nothing.
We can cut it if we need to.
Okay. Yeah. But
Just
no,
kill
it
the
just
energy,
it didn't
dude.
look that good. That's right. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right. Anything else we want to say about this film?
One other thing I did want to say is I think, like Zach was saying, the horror formula is so good. And I think for a couple of reasons, like you can make a lean movie when it comes to horror. Like this is a 90-minute movie or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a breakout movie, you can't well, in other genres that wouldn't fit as well. A short movie like that nowadays.
Yeah.
Again, it worked for Past Lives, so I guess maybe it could.
How long was Past Lives?
I think it was pretty short as well.
2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 106 minutes, so a little less than 2 hours.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, it's a good length.
yeah,
Not everything needs to be like. I mean, 2.5 hours is considered like a longer film
right.
nowadays.
And this was probably pretty cheap too. Small
Mhm.
cast.
Yeah.
Totally unknown
Practical.
people.
Oh yeah. I
effects.
mean, yeah. Next to nothing budget. It's
Yeah.
incredible they were able to pull this off. But
Which again goes back to like their YouTube roots. 'Cause,
Yeah.
they're used to making things work and doing.
yeah, and they take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
But with horror, I mean, you can't make it too long because the object of the horror genre is to grab their attention. I mean, they grabbed our attention in the opening scene of the film, and they just did a great job of just keeping us hooked. And then throwing us surprises, making us let our guard down. But you can't keep somebody hooked that long. I mean, like we said, a lot of people's issue with Oppenheimer is that it's too long, and when you get to the third act of the film, some people are just kind of over and done with it. But no, I feel like with horror, I don't expect a long movie, and I almost prefer it to be like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Quick burn.
Exactly. Yeah. That, like I said, The Witch is one of my favorite horror movies ever, and that's shorter than this one, 92 minutes. So,
Dang,
it just works for me at least.
The Witch is incredible. I didn't have that on my list. Dude,
Directorial debuts.
I totally forgot about, Ari's and Eggers' debuts.
Okay, man.
Guess
Well,
what?
maybe I
I'm
just
writing
gave you
it
a couple
down
more
now.
for the
We're
draft.
doing a draft at the end of this also of directorial debuts. So should be fun.
I thought
Okay.
of a couple. Oh, sorry.
No, what are you saying? What are you going to
I thought of a couple other reasons why I think this did super well. I think why a lot of horror films kind of fall short of just making you terrified.
Yeah.
The first being like plot armor. You're not super afraid because the main character is probably going to live.
Mm-hmm.
And they got rid of that right at the beginning with the first really intense sequence.
Yeah.
You just know that like nobody's safe.
Yeah.
And I think second that made it really good was there's that kind of trope where they go into like the dark hallway that obviously has the bad guy in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are kind of dumb or illogical in scary movies, and so you don't feel as scared because you wouldn't do that either.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, they work around that by it being like a phenomenon that people want to do, that people are willingly like participating in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this craze. And so both of those going out the door right away, I think, is really what like contributed to it being super terrifying.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like the whole movie, and you and I talked about this when we first saw it. Like you're rooting against Mia.
Yeah.
Like you recognize that she's kind of a bad person for the action she's taking.
She was a horrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, but at the same time, you connect with her emotionally. And I don't know about you, but a lot of the scary movies that I see that are bad, I'm not connecting with the person emotionally.
Yeah.
Maybe I understand, like, hey, if I were in that situation, I'd be afraid too. But they made Mia, again, in such a short time, they made her a character that you can really feel for.
Mhm.
Losing her mom, not having a good relationship with her dad, having a wonderful relationship with her friend's family.
Mhm.
Like, I think we can all relate to that to some extent. And so you connect to that character more so that every choice that they make, even if you don't agree with it, it still resonates with you.
Yeah.
So I think that's key.
No, I agree 100%. Yeah. What did you guys think about? I was reading reviews on this film, and one of the major criticisms I saw was that it doesn't keep the feeling of like eeriness and dreadfulness the entire time, because there are moments where you can kind of relax and let your guard down and kind of just focus on the scene and the character development. But I mean, in my opinion, that just added to how impactful the scary scenes were, because if you just feel dreadful the whole time and you just expect everybody to get murdered or sacrificed or whatever, you're just expecting that, and there's a ceiling to how much emotion you can feel for the scene and the characters and stuff. But I mean, spoilers, right? I did not expect anything to happen to Riley. Okay.
Yeah.
And when something did, I was like, it took all of my guard, like all my walls just fell down. I felt like naked in the theater. It was just like a crazy experience, But then, yeah. So, what do you guys think about that?
And like what precedes that is him being peer pressured by his friend to smoke, getting made fun of, and then they have the little montage with the music playing, and so you're kind of brought up on this high of like,
yeah, exactly, like a great,
you feel great, it's kind of entertaining to watch,
yeah,
and then brings you down super fast when Riley meets his.
I know, yeah, I thought that was extremely effective the way they did that, yeah.
No, yeah, I appreciate the moments of levity because it makes those scary moments and those intense moments even more, like you're saying, even more intense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really understand that criticism.
I don't understand it either.
It's probably people who like Insidious: The Red Door.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, this is just too complicated for me.
Probably Patrick Wilson that wrote that.
It was Patrick Wilson's burner account. Yeah, I think I need to look into that a little bit more.
Look up the Aquaman 2 or Aquaman review and see if they like that.
Yeah. Okay, should we get into the categories?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Favorite part? You guys want some choices?
Do you have choices?
I do this time. Yes.
Yeah, give me some choices.
Okay. First up, the party at Joss's house. He's the Polynesian. He's Polynesian, right?
I would say so.
Okay, yeah. Polynesian character. His house. We're introduced to Jade's boyfriend. A couple of new characters. Haley. And we get the first little seance that happens with Mia. Very entertaining. Bit shocking, when she kind of grabs the thing back, and focuses in on Riley. That was terrifying, yeah. And you felt like a little bit in that moment, like maybe something's coming for Riley, but I really don't want anything to happen to him.
Yeah, and that's the first real scare, dude. Like right when the movie started, Zach was like, "Are there any jump scares, or like how many are there?" And I was like, "Dude,
are there any jump scares in this scary movie?"
No, but genuinely, there's not like many.
Yeah,
there's one, and it's when she first touches the hand, and it pans to that scary guy, and it's just really sudden.
Yeah,
that's like a jump scare for me.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
What was I saying right before that? I'm a moron.
You just said like there weren't that many jump scares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that old guy.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. Maybe we'll circle back to that.
It's okay.
But no, I think that was a great scene. It was the first really intense.
The first scare of the movie, yeah.
Because there was an intense scene to open it up.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first scare. And then it led to,
Yeah.
That was great.
Exactly. Yeah. Probably not my favorite, just because there's a couple other great ones here.
Yeah.
Second option, the party at Jade's house. Okay. So we get that great, fun montage of them all getting possessed or whatever. There's also a couple weird parts in there at that party.
Yeah. I didn't like Mia's singing.
Who's singing?
Oh, in
Mia.
Spanish.
Oh, you didn't like that?
It wasn't Spanish. I think it might have been Italian or something. I speak both, so I should be able to figure
she
it out. She
looked freaky though in that moment. Yeah. You didn't like it?
I think I like that.
You did like that?
Yeah.
I liked the whole sequence. I just didn't like the singing. It kind of took me out of it.
It was, yeah.
I don't know why.
It was quick. Yeah.
You really liked the dog part though, right?
No, dude. When I watched this for the second time, I was like cringing at that part coming up. I even like looked over to people with me. I was like, this part is kind of weird. So don't judge me for taking you to this.
I think that was probably my least favorite part was the dog and at least the little side about Daniel's character, the boyfriend, his like repressed sexuality and it coming through in that with him like kissing the dog and like when his first time he gets possessed kind of talks about how he's not attracted to his girlfriend.
Yeah.
It didn't really like ever get readdressed. And so I don't know what they're trying to do with that. Maybe just make a statement about like young Catholic boys, but kind of weird to me.
Yeah, maybe just the fragility of that relationship between his name's James, right?
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. My bad. Yeah.
The boyfriend?
Yeah.
I think it's Daniel.
Between Daniel and Jade,
Yeah.
and how Mia could have possibly messed with their relationship. So.
Oh, I know your favorite scene. It was when Mia's sucking Daniel's feet.
Maybe.
That was probably the best part for me. When that spirit who's masquerading as her dad, Mia's dad.
Yeah.
That's really intense.
That was horrible, man.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that's when I was like cringing the most from like just sheer terror, or when the scene at Jade's house. I don't know which one got to me more. Just because you felt, her dad, you just feel so bad for him like the whole film, because she is like avoiding his calls all the time. She's so distant. And he lost his wife. It's only been a year, or I think 1 year. How many years?
3 years.
2 years. Yeah. And now he's just losing his daughter, and he's got to deal with all that. And then the shock of what happened in the moment, it was just horrible. Yeah. But it's hard to pick a favorite scene because you look like kind of a freak for choosing some of these parts.
No, if I were to say, it's after Daniel gets possessed,
mm-hmm.
and then there's that moment of like lightheartedness.
Yeah.
And the music's playing, and they're just so casual about this hand that they're passing around.
Yeah. You have no idea like the weight of what's about to happen. Yeah, what can happen.
Yeah, and it just primes you to get really terrified by the next moment. So I think from when they put the dog out, lock the dog out.
Mm-hmm. I liked the dog though as a character.
Yeah,
he was very realistic.
On screen, you could just
with
hear
his breathing. Yeah.
When they put the dog out to when Riley smashes his freaking face in.
Yeah,
that's my favorite part.
I'd say, yeah, I agree. Just because that's the scene. Like if I'm showing this to people, I'm looking around the room, everybody's reactions to this scene.
Similar where I was looking around for reactions is when they're in the hospital and Jade is like bathing him, and the mom steps out of the room.
Yeah,
he bites her and then smashes his head on the tile.
Yeah,
licks it up.
Also,
everybody I was with was like, oh,
Yeah, very traumatizing scene as well. That part, and it reminds me of The Invisible Man. You guys have seen that? That was one of the first movies where I was like, I need to show this to people just so they can see the plot twist that comes at the midway mark of the film, And I won't spoil that on here, but it's very shocking, just like this one. So yeah, should we just say party at Jade's house?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Zach, you agree?
Yeah, I think when I was really invested in the movie was right after, when they're in the hospital, just because you're able to gather your thoughts and you're able to see them react to everything.
Yeah.
You typically don't get that in a horror movie until the very, very end when everything's resolved. And so that's when I felt super invested in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, least favorite part?
That's hard with a movie like this. So short, I think everything kind of works. Maybe the dog licking.
I think the dog licking part.
Or genuinely, I make jokes about liking feet and stuff, but when that old woman crawls out of the corner, I liked that scare.
Yeah.
When she's physically sucking Daniel's feet. Those are two actors, real life people that had to act that out.
Yeah.
That's pretty horrifying. I did not like that.
Isn't that weird? On set, that actor who plays Daniel had to get his toes sucked by two different actresses.
Yeah, and Mia, the gal, Sophie Wilde or whatever.
Yeah.
Young, up and coming, beautiful actress.
That'd have been weird
to
ask her to do as a director.
It's a big ask.
And we don't know what the other woman looked like underneath all that makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was Daniel who was like, hey guys, I got this crazy idea. What if what if they just start sucking on my feet?
That'd have been me on set. I was just kidding.
It's
just came to me just now.
No, but I feel like the scare was effective where she's in the corner, because that's just so relatable. Looking around your room late at night, you see some clothes stacked on something, and looks like a person, you know, and you really got to focus for a second.
I've seen that exact woman in the corner of my room, you know.
Yeah,
like
I've had nightmares about that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna say the dog part is my least favorite. Okay, great performance by the dog, though. I mean, did everything that was asked of him.
How did they achieve that? Did they just like put peanut butter in Daniel's mouth?
Also, how'd they get consent for that? Because like the dog doesn't know.
Yeah, is that animal abuse?
Maybe, could be.
I wonder if PETA was not.
PETA probably doesn't endorse this film.
Yeah,
we'll see. Okay, best quote. I don't have anything. Not really a quotable movie.
Talk to me. That's a solid quote.
That's it. I feel like I've said that before.
Oh, I've said that plenty of
I've
times.
quoted this movie all the time, yeah.
I let you in. I've said that to plenty of dudes before.
Oh, jeez.
We can cut that.
Okay. You don't have to. We could leave it in. Okay. Life lessons. Maybe don't mess with the paranormal.
Yeah, if your buddies have a severed Satanist's hand, maybe don't mess with it. I think because there were also so many parallels with drugs, intentional.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids.
That was more effective than any DARE assembly I had in elementary school.
Yeah, for real.
Not given to peer pressure because it was very like, don't give in. Don't be the loser who gives in to peer pressure to be popular.
Yeah. If my parents were on this pod, they'd say, just don't invite that spirit into the house or whatever, you know.
They're okay with you grabbing the hand and everything, just not inviting it? Or
just
what?
Don't invite any spirits or whatever. Okay. Don't watch any scary movies in the house. You're just asking for trouble, you know.
Well, good thing we know how to get rid of them, so.
Yeah.
My parents? What?
No, us.
Oh, okay.
My parents?
Okay. All right. Worst character to hang out with?
Haley's kind of a dick.
Haley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I noticed this time around they used they them pronouns. Let me find them.
Oh, okay.
Joss's friend that has the hand.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Person.
So that makes sense. Like them.
Also Riley's little friend, James, I think he's kind of
cool, dude.
Annoying.
You don't think he's cool?
And he might stink. Like the mom didn't know if it was Cookie or James that stunk. So but we're used to that.
Yeah.
Having a friend
with
that
Spencer, yeah. How about Riley when he's trying to kill himself every 5 seconds?
You wouldn't be there to support your friend in that moment.
I just wouldn't want to it's just kind of a vibe killer, you know? It's like, dude, just quit smashing your face on stuff, you know?
Yeah. What about that little girl that takes you to hell? Wouldn't want to hang out with her very much.
No. Yeah, as long as you set boundaries, though. Like, just
like you let her in, but you don't
let me in. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say Riley when he's all possessed and stuff.
Yeah, great point. You're gonna get bit for sure, Riley.
Yeah. Okay.
Mom also was just a bad hang in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I wanted to say one issue that I had was I feel like the mom was a little bit over the top.
A little bit over the top.
Was
When
the
Daniel
acting.
comes to the door and she's like slams it in his face.
Yeah.
My buddy Staten, he came as well. He related to that and he goes, "Oh, that's tough." Says it out loud, which was funny.
Yeah.
Then she barges into everybody's room. You having the party tonight?
I know,
It's
just
okay, they
like
told me.
explicit
Yeah,
what
over the
she's
top.
saying, and yeah, it's like, come on.
Or
Trying too hard to be like the cool mom a little
Mhm.
bit. So
And then to her son, she's like, if you do drugs or if like your friend gives you drugs, I will literally punch you in the head or punch you in the face.
yeah.
Like, okay, that's
And then she's like, "My daughter's privates, PG. This
Oh, yeah.
podcast is PG.
Yeah.
My daughter's
PG,
privates are
PG
off limits
podcast.
to Daniel."
I know.
But that's relatable to me. Like I've had friends whose moms are a little too explicit.
Yeah.
Do sabe, you know? Like so that was understandable to me.
Yeah.
That final part.
And I feel like so she was overacting most of the film, but then there was one part when she comes back to the hospital room and her son is gone. I feel like in that moment she was underacting. Like, if my son, who was trying to kill himself every time he woke up, was out of his hospital bed and people didn't know where he was, I would be like a huge wreck, you know?
Right.
And she's just like, nurse, like, where's my son? He's not here. Like, who, you know? A little bit, you know, he touches upset, but like, I'd be screaming. I don't know, maybe. I'd play it cool, actually, if it was me, but
Yeah, you would.
any mom in that situation would be like freaking out, I feel like. I don't know.
Touch like the call nurse button, be like, so I'm just like wondering.
Yeah,
Play cool.
she presses the button. Yeah,
No rush. But
Okay. What scene in the movie would you most want to be there for?
that's really tough with this one.
It is tough.
You know, I'd like to be there at Mia's Mother's Day of Remembrance,
Okay.
and then just never, come back next year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be involved in any of
Just skip out on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe the very, very end seance where they're in some Spanish speaking country, but
Yeah.
that could be cool. Then you see what happens next, like what Mia's next move is on the other side.
Yeah, it seems like all the other spirits are like familiar with the situation that they're in. And they
Yeah.
take possession of the host.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, where am I? What's going on? I wonder if Mia, for her first time, would be like, what's going on? Here's what's happening. I'm not supposed to be here, whatever.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
Could have been
Pick up right there.
interesting. Yeah. Zach?
What was the question?
Oh, dude, if you're not going to
Move on.
listen,
Skip.
I was
what
so just
scene would you
into-
most want to be there for?
Yeah, I
Try to
think
talk right.
kind of just piggybacking off of your point, being able to see from Mia's perspective and the motivations of the afterlife,
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. So I guess if I could be like in Mia's shoes on the other side
Yeah.
and just see like what she gets into.
Yeah. Okay, so we all agree. Is this the greatest movie ever?
It could be.
When I first saw this, I was like, wow, is this the best horror movie that I've seen? I've kind of settled down
Yeah.
on that, especially after the second watch. Just wasn't as terrifying, which that's to be expected, obviously.
It is difficult because the way that this movie, it's not like a jump scare thing.
Mhm.
It's more of that like visceral dread that we've been talking about. So on second watch, by nature, you're just not going to be.
Yeah, this
Like,
is
it's a
like a
movie-
first watch type
Yeah.
of movie, and like show your friends who haven't seen it.
Yeah, in theaters.
sure.
Needs to
Yeah.
be seen.
Exactly. I feel like movies like The Witch, Hereditary, Midsummer, you can enjoy multiple times, but this is, it's just so entertaining the first time watch for this. So
Yeah. I was also going to say it's the best scary movie ever, but I think The Witch just edges out. The Witch is in my top 4 on Letterboxd right now.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
As of right now, I just really like that movie. This could be the best Australian movie ever.
Could be. Is there any other ones that we
Any
know
other
of?
competition? Let's see. Details, countries, Australia. Oh, Elvis. Elvis beats this one.
No, it
The
doesn't.
Lego movie?
Yeah, Letterboxd isn't super reliable.
Oh, the
because-
Lego movie? Yeah, this
Yeah, I don't know if
that beats this.
I don't know if this is right.
because a lot of these are like Australian filmmakers, like Gatsby and Elvis. That's both Baz Luhrmann. So, The Lion.
I
That's a
haven't
good
seen it.
Australian movie. Yeah, I think this might be
Yeah, this might be the best.
the best.
And that's good because these filmmakers said like they want to keep this their movies like Australian,
I love that.
Like they really loved the crew that they were working with and filming in Australia. So yeah, I hope they are able to keep doing that. Keep it personal, these films that they're making. Okay, I mean we've been talking about facts about production pretty much the whole time, but is there anything you guys want to add that you know about this film?
No.
Okay, good.
One thing I'm excited for, the guy who plays Joss,
Yeah.
Alosio, what is his last name? Chris Alosio. He's going to be in Next Goal Wins, which is Taika Waititi's next movie.
Oh, really?
coming out. this year.
Oh, that's great.
So that'll be cool to see him in more stuff. I'm excited to see all of these people in more stuff. But
Yeah.
I was just looking at what they're going to be in and all their previous filmographies. They're not a lot that they've got going on. But
What's Taika Waititi's debut film? Is it Hunt for the Wilder People?
probably.
Was he part of the What We Do in the Shadows?
Oh, it might be What We Do in the Shadows.
He produced that, though. I don't know if he directed that. Oh, he co-directed that with Jermaine Clement.
Does that count?
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather count. Oh, Eagle versus Shark.
Oh,
Which looks like Jermaine Clement as well.
okay.
Whatever. Yeah, it wasn't his first.
All right.
One thing I'm unsure about is like how well this will age,
Mm-hmm.
since it's built a lot on this like social media. They use like cringe and other.
Yeah, it is
current
pretty
lingo.
modern in the slang
So
and stuff.
hopefully it doesn't get cringy.
Yeah.
But to counter that, I think they did it much better than, like, say, TMNT,
Yeah.
which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they said stuff that you know is going to age in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a little bit more low key.
Mhm.
So I think it'll age a little bit better.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody dab in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Probably.
I feel like so. I feel like Jackie Chan did.
My wife still dabs every day.
Does she?
So that's current.
Okay, so it is current. Yeah. Sometimes when you see dabbing in a film, it kind of ages it. At least for me. But when Grace does it, it's awesome. Like it's
freaking
really cool.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. You guys want to get into our draft?
Sure.
Okay.
We don't have any more categories?
No, that's it.
Okay. We were just running Zach through some that we didn't hit.
Like what? I took a couple out that didn't apply.
Okay. That's fine.
Oh, I think I skipped. Did we say who should Ryan Gosling have played?
We didn't.
We didn't. Is that the one you're talking about? Let me think. Maybe Haley? No.
Yeah.
He couldn't play an unlikable character.
Here's the thing.
Everybody's so unlikable.
If he plays anybody in this movie, they're all like ages 14 to 17.
Yeah.
Imagine him playing Haley's part, just this 42-year-old man.
He could have been the
Sitting on
dad.
Daniel's feet.
He could have played the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the mom. That could have been
Or the
pretty good.
mom.
Yeah. Like
'Cause,
a
like-
John Travolta hairspray thing.
Yeah, because you get her first appearance is like in the reflection
Uh-huh.
of the hospital window. It'd been funny if just like instead of her, it's just like Ryan Gosling.
That's true.
We have to make that edit. Oh, he could play the kangaroo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the kangaroo. That was a great thing that
Great imagery.
came back, like, and it gave you immediately like the theme of the movie, you know, and the message.
And it's really easy to catch at the very beginning when they first hit it. There's that like overhead shot of the road and the kangaroo, and they use the negative space so well
Yeah.
that when you see it again at the very end after Mia gets hit by the car,
Hmm.
it's the same exact shot.
Yeah.
But
Very
you knew it the whole
recognizable.
time that this was going to come back.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys about that actually.
Hmm.
Do you think when Mia first got possessed, and remember how she points out to Riley,
Hmm.
like, we like you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's in connection to him wanting to put the kangaroo out of its misery and her not wanting to, and maybe that's why she got targeted by the spirits?
Yeah, that could be a good point. Like they see Riley as a tool to get her because they know that Riley wants to like be merciful to this thing and Mia doesn't have the chops to do it. And Daniel says later in the film that the spirits, when they enter their minds, they see what the people know.
Yeah.
So they would have access to that memory, that experience, and they could be using Riley just as a means to get to Mia.
Yeah. I mean, but wouldn't it show that she didn't have like the guts to, you know, to follow through and like kill Riley, you know?
Yeah, but what if they never wanted Riley? Like
They want Mia?
yeah, they just wanted to keep her.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know.
Maybe.
Like they knew that she couldn't put Riley out of
His misery. And
Yeah,
so
that it would
she would end
ultimately
up
lead
being
to
the
her
final
dying. Yeah.
sacrifice. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah.
We also talked on the way out about like if it's really her mom.
Yeah. I don't think it is. I
I'm
don't
pretty
think.
confident it's not now. When
Yeah.
I first watched, I was like, maybe because she warned her about the spirit masquerading as her dad. On second watch, I'm like, she definitely wasn't.
No, I don't think it ever was. I think
no.
in the first time the mom shows up, I think it's just a ploy to get to be able to stay inside of Riley's mind for a longer period of time. You know.
I'm curious though if it's like within their motivations as a like someone who's dead to bring something that you care about on the other side. Because if so, then like the mom's gonna Mia was the Mia was the perfect person to do that, to try and kill the dad, bring him on the other side, and then her kill herself.
Yeah, I think that's a great theory, but I also think when Daggett's brother says that the spirits get weaker over time, you notice that when the mom first appears, she's totally intact. Her eyes are a little messed up, but otherwise she's pretty good.
Yeah.
By the very end of the movie, she is like a mess. Like her face is totally distorted as she's whispering into Mia's ear. Like her hair is all wet. So that just shows that she's a spirit that's like deteriorating.
True.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was ever her.
Yeah, I don't think it was, because they did say that they can masquerade as somebody else, like change form.
Really?
Yeah, they did say that. So, okay, perfect. You guys ready for the draft?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do 6 films each. I feel confident.
6 films each? Okay.
Yeah.
So Zach's just going to help me pick. Okay. Or do you just want him to be the deciding vote?
He could be the... I don't know. Zach, what would you rather do? Be the deciding vote, say who won, or
I'll say who. I feel like I have too much. I have like 2 of my top 4 favorite movies ever are on this, and so I'll just help Austin pick because
you're too
really
biased. Yeah, too much skin in the game.
Yeah.
I also, some of these are some of my favorite movies ever, so
okay,
it's gonna be hard. I know some are genuinely better. Let's see. Yeah, so that's average rating.
I didn't even look up like average rating. I'm just going off gut.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
What's
I just
crazy?
have a list and I've sorted it by. Anyway,
mine's not even sorted. I'm just gonna look at it and.
Okay, you're raw dogging it. That's great, dude.
I'm 2-0 on these drafts. I feel
sure,
like.
Man. Okay.
The first one, it's up for debate, but we'll see. Okay, you gonna flip a coin?
Yeah, maybe I will.
Okay. I'm going to go tails.
Tails? You're going to regret that.
Never
Heads,
fails.
Idiot. It's heads.
It is heads.
Damn it.
Okay.
All right, whatever. I don't want your first pick anyways.
Yeah.
I do, actually. But it's okay.
So here's the thing.
So maybe let's clarify real quick. These films are the first films released by a certain director.
Yeah. Solo release, feature-length film.
Yes. Okay. 6 films each.
Okay. First one, got to go with one of my favorites.
Okay.
Taking the Witch, Robert Eggers.
All right.
One of my favorite working directors today. He doesn't put out anything that's bad.
He doesn't. Yeah, no, that's true. Okay. I like The Witch as well. Fantastic slow burn.
Not as much as me.
That's true. I don't know.
I love Black Phillip.
Yeah, Black Phillip.
Okay, so this next one's tough. I have, a lot of these films are just like kind of in the same tier for me. And there's a couple that I think I could get later.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Ex Machina as my number one.
Dirty Dog. That's one of my favorites.
I love that film.
It's perfect.
Whose directorial debut is that?
Alex Garland.
Alex Garland. Yep.
Domhnall Gleeson, Oscar Isaac, Alicia Vikander.
Yep.
Fantastic sci-fi movie.
I know.
A one-location sci-fi movie as well.
It's incredible. And it's about, what's that computer term? What are they called?
AI?
No, like what Spencer is, you know?
Oh,
Discord mod?
Discord mod. That's not what I'm thinking of.
Cybersecurity.
Coders or whatever.
Yeah, coder.
Yeah, Coders. Fantastic film. Like, if you're a computer science major, you don't shower.
Yeah.
Perfect film for you. You know, I could just appreciate the beauty of it. You know,
Yeah.
having showered, but it's it's still great for anybody. But
Yeah, and there's a lot of themes of like the fears of technological advancement, and also themes of like empowerment, personal empowerment.
mm-hmm.
It's just great. I think it's great.
Yeah, very good.
Okay,
your pick. Were you gonna pick that next? I feel like you were.
I don't know. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
On here, and again, a lot of these are from like the past 5 years.
Okay.
So, should I go here or here? I mean,
Here?
personally, yeah,
Here or here?
yeah.
I haven't seen this one.
If Zach hasn't seen it, you can't draft it.
Shut up. Okay. Let's do Get Out.
Okay. That's one I just thought of, like, just sitting here.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Great pick, dude. Do you remember, were you there when we watched that for the first time?
Probably.
It was like, I was in McKay Kimball, his basement. And I know for a fact that me, Spencer McKay, and Forrest were there.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. I think you'd left on your mission or something, but fantastic first time experience. Like, I remember like vividly, we were standing up, like watching this.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know like what was going to happen next. And it was a fantastic first watch for me. But
yeah, just really great stuff. I mean, Jordan Peele, it established, because before he was the guy from Key and Peele, which is really a great parallel to this movie.
Mhm.
You know,
yeah,
we knew him from YouTube, from Comedy Central.
I know.
Like,
and he's like a comedian.
Yeah,
you know, and you didn't expect this type of dark movie from him.
And everything he's made since has been amazing.
Yeah,
so,
he's a
I think
genius.
that's what makes it so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good pick, I guess. I am going to take next. I really like this one. I don't know if it's going to get me many other people on my team here, but I really like Nightcrawler.
That's crazy.
What?
I typed that in as soon as you said, I really like this one.
Okay.
And I said, watch this. Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to take Nightcrawler.
Okay.
Fantastic Jake Gyllenhaal performance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, should have won the Oscar. Okay. For best performance, you know. I mean, the weight he loses, how he becomes such a different person, you know, throughout the film.
He is, the first time I watched that, if you can believe it, I was on a train from London to Paris.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it on my iPad.
That's awesome, dude.
Wow.
But he transforms, and he is like genuinely,
yeah.
You feel sad for him.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like scared by his behavior.
Yeah.
It's an amazing performance.
So like such chaotic energy.
Yeah.
You know, and he pulls out like a bunch of, a couple, shocking surprises in the film where he kind of flips and turns and stuff. Yeah. I mean, like almost unrecognizable. I mean, if somebody wasn't very familiar with Jake Gyllenhaal, I don't know if you'd know it was him or something. Maybe you would. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just steals the show. I mean, I think there's a couple of other notable actors in the film. I can't even remember them though.
Yeah, the other guy
Rene
from
Russo, Riz
Sound
Ahmed.
of Metal. Yeah.
You mean from Rogue One?
From Rogue One as well. Great movie.
Okay.
Okay.
My pick. Oh, la verga. How did I lose that chunk?
Austin just swore in Spanish, everybody.
Sorry.
It's cool, though. It's a PG podcast, but whatever.
Okay, give me a second. Where did I take second?
Get Out.
Get Out, nice.
Yeah, you took Get Out.
I just got to write this down because I navigated away and then I deleted all my stuff.
Mm.
Took Ex Machina. You know what Ex Machina means in Greek or in Latin?
Ex machine.
Means in machine.
In machine?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It I don't have time to explain it right now, but it goes back to when they would do plays in their theaters. There was this trend that developed where there would be this big problem for their protagonist, and then one of their gods would come down and just save them. That's where we get the term Deus Ex Machina,
Oh yeah.
which is like in film when a story is resolved by like a famous example is the Eagles
In Lord of the
coming
Rings.
to save the hobbits in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why didn't they do that in the entire time? Why is it happening
Because, bro, Sauron
I know.
would have seen them.
now? But anyway, it's a really cool title for a movie.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I thought Alex Garland was one of my favorite directors until I watched Annihilation. That movie's ass. A lot
You
of
didn't
people
think
love
you didn't like that?
Did not like it at all.
I've heard it was good, but
I've heard
if
it's great.
Okay.
It's not.
got Portman.
You watch and decide. Fans, let us know.
No, if you don't like it, I'm not gonna like it.
Okay. I mean, Natalie Portman's great in it. Everybody else is bad.
Okay.
Whatever. Okay, my pick. I don't know if I want to go for one of our favorite directors or one of the movies that touched me most this year or number 3 on the Letterboxd top 250 narrative films of all time.
You can go either. You can go either one.
I feel like consistency is big,
Mm-hmm.
and like pivoting, like Jordan Peele, right? He was a comedian, and then he made 3 bangers. I feel like that's a good.
Zach, just tell him to get past lives. I know that's what you want.
That's what, if Zach were running this, I know what he'd pick in his first 2.
Yeah.
Which coincidentally are in the top 3 of this list. Okay, I'm gonna go. It's hard though. This one I've ranked 4 stars
Okay.
because last time I saw it was in film class, or no, in English class, senior year of high school.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna do 12 Angry Men.
It's a good pick.
Classic number 3. What? Why are you checking?
Nothing. No, we saw that in film class. We did.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, I remember.
I watched it twice that year. Then I guess haven't seen it since.
Okay. 4 stars.
Yeah. What did you give it?
I don't know. Why do you should check right there. See what I gave it.
If I navigate away, it's not gonna say my junk.
Oh, okay.
I'll check later.
12 Angry Men. What'd you think about this one?
This film.
Yeah.
I think it's intense. I think it's very well written. It's another movie that takes place in one location, which I just love. I think it speaks to the creativity of the director,
Yeah.
and the writers.
I gave this 4 stars as well.
Okay, great.
It is a great movie. I really enjoyed it when we watched it in film class because I was like, in the state of mind where like I wasn't going to enjoy a film if it was old and in black and white. And it opened my eyes to have a better appreciation for older movies like this. And it's very entertaining, I mean, it's a courtroom drama pretty much, which I like. And it is one of the greatest films of all time. So it's a great pick. I don't know if it's going to win you many votes for people who haven't seen it.
Oh, I'm not banking on that one.
Okay.
I've got some money picks.
Oh, you do?
Up. Yeah.
I'm going to pick one right now.
Let's hear yours, okay?
Okay, I'm going to pick. You already know, and I don't want to be predictable. Maybe you don't know. I'm going to take Reservoir Dogs right now.
Okay, that was my other. Here's why I didn't pick that. That's probably my least favorite Quentin movie.
I'd
But still a
say
banger.
it's like my 3rd favorite.
Your 3rd favorite?
3rd, 4th.
Quentin?
Yeah, I'd say so. Of
Once
Quentin
Upon a Time in
Tarantino's.
Hollywood.
4th.
Django Unchained.
4th. Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards.
Then
Pulp
this.
Fiction? You're putting it above Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just really like it, man.
I don't even know if I'd put this above The Hateful Eight.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely above Hateful Eight.
You don't like Hateful Eight?
I don't like Hateful Eight that much. Yeah. No, dude. It's his.
No, it's fantastic. It's great.
You don't think so? You're not. It doesn't sound like you think that.
I love his cameo.
Quentin's?
Yeah.
He should stay out of his own movies. I think.
Him
and Django is really bad. In Pulp Fiction,
Yeah.
he's not good either.
I rewatched Inglourious Bastards yesterday.
Yeah.
And when he is choking Bridget von Hammersmark, that's a great cameo.
That is great.
Cameo.
He's also one of the skinned soldiers on the battlefield.
The what soldiers?
Like when they're scalped
Oh,
soldiers.
okay.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
When they bring out the Bear Jew, he's one of the guys that they're skinning their scalp.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. know what's funny is that I showed you guys this film. Your first experience of Inglourious Bastards was me skimming through. Like,
No,
are you?
you're remembering that wrong.
Were you not there?
No, I saw this movie when I was.
Oh yeah,
much
yeah.
younger.
No, my mistake.
That was Spencer and Grace.
Yeah, dude, I'm so sorry.
So that's really
I'm
insulting.
really sorry that I lumped you in
You
there.
either think I'm my wife.
I
or you
recognize
think
my
I'm a
mistake
smelly
immediately.
Discord mod.
Spencer and Grace. Yeah, my bad. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, but I was being over the top because I really liked that film, and I skimmed through because Spencer was such a, oh my gosh, dude.
Well, and Grace, you've ruined. This.
I ruined
this
it.
And Django Unchained in high school. Were two of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah,
I just would rewatch them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I still haven't watched this with my wife, Inglourious Bastards, because she's like, I've already seen it.
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
gosh.
no, you haven't. You've seen Jaren skim through most of it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I saw the whole thing. It's like, no, you haven't.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, if we get a divorce, it's your fault.
Okay.
The whole incident.
I will honestly take part of the blame. No, dude, but Reservoir Dogs, it's good.
Great film.
The banter,
really like
I mean, it's got a good script, and it's incredible he was able to do this with a next to nothing budget, And it goes off of, his whole saying, if you love film, just go make a film, with your friends. And it's a great movie. Great performances. It's pretty stagey. It all happens in a warehouse and in a diner. And they skip the heist, but I feel like that was
That's an amazing
It was
decision.
masterful, yeah, and it's because they had no budgets that they had to do that. But yeah, great film. It's there's betrayal, there's plot twists, a bunch of different things. It's funny. It's a great film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
I would have picked that first, but I knew I could let it drop a little bit.
Yeah.
And get it.
You know what else I love about that film?
What?
Is the slow motion shot of them leaving the diner.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's iconic, but
Yeah.
I love in Swingers
Mm-hmm.
when they're kind of
They
making
do that
fun
again.
of it, and then they do it again. It's so great.
Yeah. Swingers is good. Yeah.
Dude, I love Swingers.
Mhm.
That's a 4.5 for me.
Thank you.
On your recommendation, great freaking film.
Okay, your pick.
This
You nervous?
is hard. Here's what I always do: I let my heart win in these drafts. So
That's
I'm
what
looking
you
at our
should
teams
do.
right now. See, I want to do this for fame and fortune, but I want to do this for my heart. Okay,
Follow your
Are
heart,
we not
bro.
high on this
I'm gonna follow my heart on my next pick. I'll tell you
in
that.
terms of
not as high as
Famous.
many. No,
Okay.
But I think it lends to a great triple threat where this one doesn't.
Right.
Okay, wait, what are you doing next?
I said I don't know. I said I was gonna follow my heart on my next one. So
Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead with Hereditary,
okay.
which again isn't following my heart.
Isn't follow your heart?
Maybe I don't know. We're at
Okay.
4. I'm at 4 movies, so I need to get a banger in here. Hereditary, I think is if you ask a lot of people like us what their favorite horror movie is, they might say Hereditary, just because Ari Aster, A24, Park City, Utah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just didn't do it for me the way that The Witch did.
Yeah. I think Witch is a better film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might like Eggers' style more than Astor's. Astor's, he's such a perfectionist, but Eggers is so stylistic, you
Yeah.
know? And I just really appreciate that. And The Northman, man, what just a man's man movie. So gets me so hyped to watch that.
Dude, it came out March 2022,
Mm-hmm.
and at that point even movies were still kind of weird. That was before Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
So that was before the real rebirth of movies
Yeah.
in theaters. And I remember really wanting to go,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, I'll just skip this one and wait for streaming. Waited for streaming, and when I saw it later that year in probably November,
Mm-hmm.
it blew me away.
I know.
And I watched the other 2 Eggers movies out. Loved both of them. Great stuff. Great guy.
Dude,
love
I
that
wish
guy.
we would have gotten into films like this earlier, where we saw these in theaters.
Could you imagine 2019?
2019 was one of the best years ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
We should talk about this sometime. Great years. 2016 also.
2014.
We'll do like probably a year movie draft, at some
Yeah.
point.
Oh, that'll be great.
Like we'll do 1999, maybe 2000, 95 as well.
Yeah.
And 2019. Yeah, for sure.
2023.
Yeah.
Been amazing.
Dude,
We'll
this
have
year,
to do that.
you look at this year. Well, at the beginning of the year, I was looking at like upcoming releases. Wasn't super excited about what we had. But looking back, this year and even last year, some just all-time movies.
I know. The
They're
Flash.
never going away. The Flash, Thor: Love and Thunder, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Oh yeah, still have to
Fast
see
X. What else? Mission Impossible:
that. Dead
Dead
Reckoning.
Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
I mean,
I'm so excited. Yeah. Okay. Dude, I had that same feeling. I was watching Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I was like, I wish I would have seen this in theaters, man.
dude.
I have a distinct memory of I was going to a drive-in movies with somebody, and I remember I don't know what I saw Wonder Woman, and I was like, okay, War for the Planet of the Apes is also one that I could see, and I was like, do I really care about that? It's ridiculous, you
Dude,
know.
Similar story. I will stand by this.
Mm-hmm.
That trilogy might be the greatest trilogy of all time.
Wow.
Dude,
Top 5. I'm not even kidding.
no, definitely top 5.
Definitely
And-
top 5.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they finished the trilogy until January of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I got COVID, watched the 1968 Planet of the Apes,
Yeah.
and it was recommended to me the other 3 movies.
Oh, really?
And I was like, okay, I'll just binge all these while I'm sick.
Yeah.
Blew me away, made me fall in love with
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves
Yeah.
and Andy Serkis and everything involved in those films. Like,
Caesar.
oh, just amazing.
I know. Dude, I watched War 2 years ago for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe I haven't, been rewatching these for the past, yeah. So I'm just glad that we're seeing movies in theaters,
Yeah,
We're not missing
great.
anything that we, are going to look back and wish that we had watched them.
Stupid missions.
Seriously. This gal we know from high school, I was on her Letterboxd the other day, and she wrote a review about how it was her last AMC A-list movie of the year because she was canceling her subscription because movies are slowing down as the summer ends. And I was like, that just couldn't be me, man. I've got to see everything now.
She's going to miss out on Voyage of the Diameter, or whatever it's called.
What?
What's it called?
The last Voyage of the Demeter?
Of the Demeter.
I thought you said Boys of the Diameter. And I was
No,
like,
dude, I didn't say that. I said it right. Okay.
Okay, your pick.
My pick. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to take... Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to take Past Lives.
Nice.
That's the one I wanted to follow my heart on last time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Probably the best movie of this year. Maybe. Spider-Man edges out.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh my gosh, we all saw that together. Just obliterated me.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great experience. Great slow burn. Wonderful character study, about the human condition and so many emotions expressed. I hadn't seen anything like that before, where nothing gets left unsaid, like we said on the pod, like you don't have any, you don't need to know any more about this film. Like you just felt it all in the moment when you watched it. Great performances, all the characters are likable and the acts are wonderful. It's a very meaningful film too. Like you just feel good about liking it. So yeah.
There's no antagonist either, right? Like
yeah,
everyone has their own story that they're driving forward, and nothing's working against that except just life itself and time.
Yeah,
and distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you understand everybody and their motivations.
Yeah,
great film. Great pick.
Thank you.
Once you start thinking about it, you just can't get out. It causes pain when you start thinking about it, and oof.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I know it's fantastic. I was gonna take something else, but then I looked it up, and neither of you guys have seen it. So,
Citizen Kane.
No, are you gonna pick that?
No, that's a directorial debut.
You've seen it, have you?
I haven't. I
Oh.
was dating a girl when I was 14.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I went over to her house, and her dad was watching this black and white movie.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's this?" And he said, he had this really deep voice.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "It's the greatest movie ever made. It's called Citizen Kane."
Wow.
He talked like Sean Connery too.
Okay. Was
And
it
I was
him?
like, it was Sean Connery. I was dating Melissa Connery, his daughter,
Wow.
at the time.
You know
No.
her name.
But I remember just thinking that established in my 14-year-old brain that 11 years later, I think Citizen Kane is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah. Well,
So I should.
I don't think it is. I think it was revolutionary for the time.
Exactly.
It's it's styled as like an epic, a lot of quick cuts. It feels like a Martin Scorsese movie kind of in a way, with like the whip shots, the zoom, Zolly, all like cinematography is beautiful. It's in black and white. The main protagonist, it's kind of like his fall from grace and stuff like that. But
Right.
it's dated. It's not enjoyable, I'd say, obviously. But it is a true feat to what people were capable of at the time. So I think that's probably why it's considered the greatest ever.
Right.
Um,
It's also got a mega plot hole, apparently.
does it?
I think the whole Rosebud thing is like a plot hole.
Yeah. You see, I don't even remember,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I watched it once, but yeah.
And also, like, greatest movie of all time is really hard to.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say because, like,
It's like the
almost
Lego
any
movie. There's so many like this year that you have to consider.
Like,
Yeah.
if like
The
Lego
Flash.
movie or like Beverly Hills Chihuahua came out at the same time, people would have seen that instead.
Yeah. You like that movie, don't you?
He does.
It's in
Those are
your
his
top
favorite movies
3
of all
on
time.
Letterboxd.
Yeah, great point. I just think, and that's funny. That guy that told me it was the greatest movie of all time didn't even have a Letterboxd. So
Oh my
That's
gosh.
why
What
would
a
I even believe
hypocrite.
no, but really, it's like in the. I don't want to click on it again. I think it's like barely in the top 250. Whatever. Anyway, my pick.
Mhm.
My
Okay.
fifth pick.
Oh, it's your pick. Yep.
So I've got Witch, Get Out, 12 Angry Men, Hereditary, and I'm going to go with another recent
Okay.
Son. 2022. Have
Wow.
you seen that?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen it?
Oh, brother. It-
Okay.
I don't want to overhype it for you. Why are you saying?
Don't
okay.
spoil it for me.
It's oh my gosh,
Have you seen Normal People?
normal people.
I see normal people all the time.
Not
Was that
Normal
funny? I felt like that was a pretty lame joke. No, never.
Yeah,
Have
but
I heard
Paul
of that?
Mescal. Paul Mescal is the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
guy.
I know it's.
Okay, you know all about it.
I
Watch
know
it.
everything about it, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
This guy owns it. You should watch it.
Oh, he
with him.
does.
I watched it and then I told him, like, dude, you gotta watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It destroyed me.
Dude, I watched it on this night that I was super depressed, and it made me numb for the next few
Don't you
days. I
love
was
when that
like,
happens?
This night I didn't. This
Okay.
night I could've done without, but,
What's
uh,
normal people? Who's in that?
Daisy Edgar Jones, right? And
And Paul Mescal. Okay.
It's an Irish.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with him. Paul
Yeah.
Mescal. Yeah, I think he's great.
Anyway, that's my pick. I don't want to say anything. You should just watch it going in blind. Because I genuinely, I'd seen the ads and everything. I did not understand what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the way you should watch
Yeah.
it.
I just know it's him and his daughter. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So,
Going with that.
okay, guys, I'm gonna watch it.
Ooh, yay.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's my custom poster because I'm a patron now.
Okay. So I only have 2 more on my list. Or no, I have. Yeah, I'm gonna take. Should I take Past Lives? I don't
You
know.
already did, Bubba.
Are you gonna take it?
You already took Past Lives.
Or no, I mean, Talk to Me. Don't tell me.
You do
dude.
what you want, dude.
Okay. I'm gonna take American Beauty. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen it.
You have?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. Very good.
But the star is a pedophile, so I'm glad you.
Well,
Kevin Spacey?
we're gonna have to look past that for this.
He
Just
got
kidding.
Acquitted actually recently.
He did
Oh,
get
really?
acquitted. I
Not
saw
that I
that.
believe
Yeah.
him, but
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's an OJ situation.
I still think he's a pedophile.
Well, OJ didn't do it.
It's OJ, so it's the opposite of
So
OJ.
it's-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
opposite.
Oh, okay.
He got acquitted and then he actually did it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a
Okay.
great pick.
I won't
I-
spoil
I
it for you
guess.
guys, but it's pretty good, you know?
Okay.
Kind of a good performance by the leading man or whatever.
Right. Okay. I'll watch it tonight.
Okay. Your pick. I'm excited about my last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what it could be because
Maybe you don't
I've
know.
kind of exhausted my list here. I'm gonna go with Lady Bird.
Oh, wait, no. That's not her debut. I thought it was Frances.
Fact check that. Fact check that for me.
I thought it was her
20th Century Woman.
the one
She was
that
an
you
actress.
saw that you said was kind of cringe.
No, Frances Ha. That's Noah Baumbach that directs that.
Oh,
She's an actress in it.
I hate you then, dude. I would have picked that just now. You don't even like Lady Bird.
What?
Okay, you do. Oh, my bad.
Listen, and you also said on a couple podcasts ago that Zach didn't like Lady Bird. He gave it like a 2.5. I went
Yeah.
home that night and looked. He gave it a 5 or a 4.5.
No, I corrected. I said Nick. Remember?
Oh, okay, you did.
Yeah.
So she co-directed Nights and Weekends in 2008,
Yep.
but
Scratch it off.
We established single
yeah,
director feature film.
so that was their first one. She's actually going to direct 2 Narnia movies.
Yeah, I
for
saw.
Netflix.
Crazy.
That sucks.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that. I want her spending her time on better projects, more
Better
personal
than
projects.
Yeah, the Netflix part kills me. If it was just Narnia and her own spin, I'd be okay with that. But
Yeah.
she didn't ask me, so she probably doesn't care what I'm okay with. So
Dude, were you kind of disappointed, like looking up like actor or directors for their debut films? You know, like Fincher. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a great one, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, Aliens 3, it's
yeah,
notorious
I
for
went
being a
through-
bad movie.
I went through my list of favorite directors, and most of them were like super obscure movies or something they made right outside of film school.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's bad.
yeah.
Which is-
Scorsese, it's like one I'd never even heard of.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
Again, I think it's just we're living a time, like a lot of our picks are kind of more recent, where you don't get a chance to just have a failure out of film school. Like,
Mhm.
that just doesn't happen.
yeah,
And if you do, you're never heard of again.
yeah.
Like, if you're
Exactly.
going to make it for the first time, you got to make it big.
hmm
So I think we're in a great time for directorial debuts for that reason.
Yeah.
Plus, you can practice like on YouTube and TikTok, like more short form
Yeah.
media. Whereas back then, you had to just make a movie.
Yeah. Okay, my last film. I'm gonna take Donnie Darko.
Okay, nice.
Did
Could
you?
win it for you?
Yeah,
Still
maybe.
haven't seen that.
Same.
Fantastic film. Jake, I got another iconic Jake Gyllenhaal performance on here. Great film. I won't spoil it, you know, but pretty freaky, pretty, you know, it's kind of cool. It's I
kinda
liked
cool.
it. Maggie Gyllenhaal's also in it.
Right.
They're brother and sister, and they have kind of a funny,
in the movie.
yeah, in the movie.
Oh.
They have kind of a funny dynamic, and yeah, pretty freaky. There's like nightmare stuff, dream sequences, and
I'll watch it.
he's a
tonight.
misunderstood teen. So relatable, you know. So
Of course. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so those are our 6 then.
those are. What
Okay,
do
so
we
you-
What do we think?
Let's I'm gonna post this. Okay. Jaron has Ex Machina, Nightcrawler, Reservoir Dogs, Past Lives, American Beauty, Donnie Darko. Pretty good stuff.
Thanks.
Austin has The Witch, Get Out, 12 Angry Men, Hereditary, After Sun, Lady Bird. I think if an A24 fan saw our lists,
They'd say you.
they'd take mine.
You got a lot of horror. You got 3
Yeah.
really good horror movies.
Which I've kind of just discovered this year that I really like horror. I used to say I didn't, but I think I was just watching crappy horror movies.
Yeah. Aren't these
Um,
5 or 6 or A24?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady Bird, After Sun, Hereditary.
And I've
Get
got
Well,
one.
Get Out's not A24, is it? So 4 or 6 maybe. I
Wait,
don't know.
is what? After Sun? I thought After
Get Out.
Sun would. Or was.
A24? I don't know.
Get Out isn't? Or is it?
I'll see.
Maybe it's Blumhouse.
You're probably right. I just don't know. It can't be Blumhouse.
Yeah. I guess it can't be actually.
Oh, Oh, it's Monkey Paw. Oh, it is Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so I was right.
All of his are.
Wow.
Yeah. Monkey Paw. And I've got 2. Is Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler Blumhouse?
Is it A24? No, I don't think so.
No,
it's
that
not.
was
Yeah,
way
yeah.
before
My
A24.
bad.
Oh,
My
no,
bad.
it wasn't way before A24.
Yeah, I know.
Idiot.
I'm an idiot. Just
Old
past
films.
lives and Ex Machina.
Yeah.
But we're kind of, is that our favorite studio? Would you say A24?
I think maybe they don't produce all of my favorite movies, but they're a studio that I get most excited for.
Yeah, like I
There
don't
aren't
get
a lot of
excited
other-
for like I hear that it's like Paramount or
Yeah.
whatever.
Warner Brothers.
Who cares?
Paramount, like
I'm focused on the director, but if I know it's A24,
Exactly.
like I trust in this studio.
You're gonna watch it in the theaters
Yeah.
if it's A24.
Yeah. Oh,
You're
yeah.
going in blind. You don't care who does it.
Because
Yeah.
even like Green Knight, we went and saw. It wasn't the best A24, but you can appreciate it, and it
Yeah.
was at least like a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So who do you think wins?
I think for a regular like cinephile, I would say Jaren wins. I would say if you're like just getting into new movies and like your top 4 movies are within the 5 years, Austin wins.
I think that's great.
Okay.
That's why we brought you on. That great perspective.
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah. Anything else we want to add? I think that's should do it.
That should do it. As always, fans, please let us know your thoughts, your feelings.
Yep.
Let us know who won the draft.
Yes.
Let us know if you like Zach, if you want him to keep coming
Yeah,
back.
comment down. He won't read it because he won't watch this.
Yeah, he won't even
So-
touch this podcast afterwards. So
Thank you so much for listening. Why don't you guys drop a like? Why don't you subscribe too? Okay.
yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
All you guys are viewing, you're blowing us up with all your views all the time, just subscribe, turn on notifications, whatever. If you're listening to us on Spotify, you're an idiot. Why don't you just watch the YouTube, so you can watch us. We have cool posters behind us. Zach's pretty cute. He's got a nice Yankees hat on. And if you listen, you're not going to be able to see stuff like that. So just watch us on YouTube, whatever, or both. Maybe pick up stuff on the second time through.
Yeah.
That makes the pod for you.
If you have multiple accounts, watch us on all of your accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for listening. You fixators, thanks for fixating with us on film. Good night.